It's loading up.
It's DQ, baby. Pseudo killers, what up? What up? What up? Check.
Ready, not gonna bump that
in,
DQ?
what's the subject? Evolution or revolution, we ain't done yet.
No, we gotta get hype, y'all.
It's a bomb threat. I know my flow like Ango.
Ready to get it in.
What's up and show me, homie. You shut up and mute up a moment. The mad scientist, I'm knowing all the components. We own it, and we gon' off it if it's pseudo. You do know we don't entertain that keyboard judo. That big Bobby banger out of Baltimore. Done it all, shop before. Sold a little something, but I taught you more than your average teacher. I had to reach you at your level to bring you up. No devil can never beat you. With precision of a magi, the information supplied by some guys get debunked online. CK and Juju, I chill in the cut. But if you boys wanna fade, then I'm chefing you up. I organized lie, the beats are disorganized truth every time. Kudos, who those niggas? Decorated pseudo killers. Space age Africans, back again. An organized lie, the beats are disorganized truth every time. Kudos, who those niggas? Decorated pseudo killers. Space age Africans, tapping in. I always been fly, that's an actual omen. You can catch me in the sky, ask Anthony Bowman. You see me with his telescope, I was actually floating off some good kush. The Savio is actually growing. See, Gullah and Kent is where the money gets spent. Them boys got some books that cost as much as you rent. The second verse should be smash Rockwell, but I rock well. Underground like Sumerian Rockwells. In the ring like I'm the rock whale. Hell, create a different wave that can rock whales. Hell, shit swell like lunar tides. My entendres off Gandra to who describe. Euthanize foolish guys. Scholastically, haphazardly. Turn your camera on and look me in my eyes. And please do subscribe. 8 to 80, blind, cripple, or crazy. You in for a new surprise. It's DQ, a organized lie. The beats are disorganized truth every time. Kudos, who Who those niggas? Decorated pseudo killers. Space age Africans. Back again. An organized lie. Defeats a disorganized truth every time. Kudos. Who those niggas? Decorated pseudo killers. Space age Africans. Tapping in.
Yo, what's happening?
Yo, what's happening? Peace, Star Man. What it do?
What you know good, Miss Juju? You been doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. You already know. Lady Killer in the building. Always ready to set it off.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I want to say peace to everybody in the chat. Appreciate you coming through. The inaugural show.
Yes. The inaugural show, ladies and gentlemen. We decided that we wanted to do something a little different. So this is what you got. Beyond the Cosmos with Anthony and Juju. And welcome to our first show. This is going to be season 1, episode 1. And we're really excited. Absolutely nervous, but it had to be done and it was a long time coming. So basically, we decided to do this show something a little different. We wanted to switch it up, right? Change the narrative a bit on the current scope of interest in the community as far as conversation-wise, right? So we also wanted to motivate and stimulate scientific interests among people of our community, especially families, with the hopes of positively impacting the lives of our children, our future, of course. So this show, Beyond the Cosmos, will primarily be focused on, because it was asked, on the latest news and discoveries concerning the JWST, which is a James Webb Telescope, okay? And all things concerning space science, our galaxy, and our universe. But of course, we might include other matters of science also that we deemed important or just absolutely fascinating without a doubt. We also want to be a resource for scientific information, such as YouTube channels and other social media links, providing information on science programs or space camps, training, courses, events, and anything that's geared towards allowing one to become actively engaged and increasing their scientific literacy. Or if you want to train and become educated, maybe become an expert in a scientific-based field or profession. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the Starman himself, pseudo killer official. We like to say amateur astrophysicist because that's what he does. Anthony Bowman, yeah. And I myself am Jolanda Zachary, but you know me as Good Juju, Bad Juju, or you can just call me Juju. But yeah, what up, Anthony?
Appreciate that introduction there, Miss Juju. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, just to piggyback off what you just said, you know, we want to do something a little different. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a space where we deal with questions that can't be answered yet instead of answers that can't be questioned. You dig that? You know what I'm saying? So I want to start out by saying peace once again to everybody in the chat. You can see who we got in there. Got Sosa, peace to you, Sosa. Cedric, Miss Tiffany, peace to you. Mungo Slade, Gideon Block, what's happening? A300 Pallister, what's going on with you? Muhammad, peace to you. Valencia Bennett, hello to you. Mr. Smalls, what's happening, my brother? Peace. So, what's going on with you there, Mr. Brass? We got Marlon, peace to you. Brother La, peace to you. So, it looks like that's about it. Kent, what's happening there with you, Kent? So,
Thank you, Kent. Thank you, Kent.
Yeah, big shout out to you, Kent. Kent got us in the building.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kent
no.
Logan.
504
Your
top
policy.
level. Peace to you. So, but yeah, Kent got us in the game. So maybe we
Kent
can
got us
keep
them
this
keys to
going.
that Cadillac. We driving now.
Yeah, we mobbing now.
We
So,
mobbing.
but yeah, like Miss Juju said, we want to do something a little different here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I sit back and enjoy the ride. You know, it's gonna be quick, straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna discuss the article, the information in the article, the tools used to get the data for the article, and a few of the processes that they go through. So let's get it in. Like I always say, when you're scientifically literate, they can't drag you down to their level and beat you up with experience. So let's get it in.
Well, let's get it in. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to share my screen. Into the wrong. In just a minute. So we're gonna get right into it. And like I said before, if you check out the description box, I have shared some of the sources that we're using for this particular presentation. The links, and I've also shared some hashtags of different Black related scientific organization, like the National Society for Black Engineers and a couple more. And I've also hashtagged some of our favorite experts in different fields of science. But we also will be posting like different resources in the description box of the show, so you all can check that out. One of the resources, though, is actually this one, and this is the NASA site, and it's pretty amazing. I won't go through it now, but this site is fully engaged and interactive. It also has other links to other sites that have interactive activities. And I wanted the show to be geared towards everybody, adults, young adults, and children, and some older adults, all ages, where you can get together with your friends or your family or both and, have some fun when it comes to science, all things science and scientific literacy. And we wanted to be able to help you navigate with that. So this is a site we're using, NASA. It's nasa.gov, pretty much, very easy. And this show is basically the James Webb Space Telescope and its newest discoveries. And the newest discovery is actually an exoplanet, and it's called K218b. K218 is actually a dwarf star, and I'll go over that later. And this is the planet that is considered to be sitting in its habitable zone. And I'll also go over those definitions later. But I just want to read to you really quick, a little bit of readership, but I'm sure y'all mature enough. Y'all can hang there a little bit so you all can get a scope on what exactly we're talking about. So this right here, I'm going to blow the picture up for them, Anthony, if I can. Okay, wait a minute. Going to illustrate some stuff for you, and then I'll read the article for you. Start sharing. There it goes. So this is actually an artist rendition of, if you can see my mouse here, the red is the red dwarf star. And this right here is K218b, which is an exoplanet. And this is called a superplanet. And I'll explain to you what a superplanet is also in a little bit when I go over some definitions for you. And also, if you like to take out some pen and paper and take a few notes, that's awesome. But again, we also have the links in the description that you can also go back and look for yourself and read and, do what you need to do so you can, fully encompass what we're trying to explain here. Are you ready for me to read this article, Anthony?
Yes, ma'am. You can get it in.
All right, so of course it said Webb discovers methane, carbon dioxide in the atmosphere of K218b. That's the exoplanet. So a new investigation with NASA's James Webb Space Telescope into K218b, an exoplanet, which is 8.6 times as massive as Earth, has revealed the presence of carbon-bearing molecules, including methane and carbon dioxide. Webb's discovery adds to recent studies suggesting that K218b could be a Hycean exoplanet, one that has the potential to possess a hydrogen-rich atmosphere and water ocean-covered surface. The first insight into atmospheric properties of this habitable zone exoplanet came from observations with NASA's Hubble Space Telescope, which prompt further studies that have since changed our understanding of the system. K218b orbits the cool dwarf star K218 in the habitable zone and lies 120 light years from Earth in the constellation Leo. Exoplanets such as K218b, which have sizes between those of Earth and Neptune, are unlike anything in our solar system. This lack of equivalent nearby planet means that these sub-Neptunes are poorly understood, and the nature of their atmosphere is a matter of active debate among astronomers. The suggestion that the sub-Neptune K218b could be a Hycean exoplanet is intriguing, as some astronomers believe that these worlds are promising environments to search for evidence of life on exoplanets. Our finding underscores the importance of considering diverse habitable environments in the search for life elsewhere, explained Naku Mahasudaha, an astronomer at the University of Cambridge. I murdered that, my apologies. And lead author of the paper announcing these results. Traditionally, the search for life on exoplanets has focused primarily on small rocky planets, but the larger Hycean worlds are significantly more conducive to atmospheric observations. The abundance of methane and carbon dioxide and the shortage of ammonia support the hypothesis that there may be a water ocean underneath the hydrogen-rich atmosphere on K218b. These initial Webb observations also provide a possible detection, and ladies and gentlemen, please listen to this very closely because this is the most important part of this discovery. And I'll start over. The initial Webb observation also provides a possible detection of a molecule called dimethyl sulfide, DMS. On Earth, this is only produced by life. The bulk of the DMS in Earth's atmosphere is emitted from phytoplankton and marine environments. So I won't read the whole thing, but that is the most important part of it that the James Webb Telescope might have also discovered, not only with the carbon and other things, but dimethyl sulfide. Anthony?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that's very significant, but you have to keep it in perspective. You know, they're using words like possibilities and things like that. So this is not saying that there's, life anywhere. There's just, we're getting the telltale signs of it, of how we understand life here on Earth. You know what I'm saying? So that's very significant, because it could possibly mean that, we are not alone. We just, there's a lot going on in the universe. So with this James Webb Telescope, that's one of the tools that's, it's helping our understanding of the universe and where we are as a species in the universe. It's giving us a lot of information. So this one here is, the way they use it is they use the Webb is a infrared telescope. So it detects light in the infrared part of the spectrum, which you can't see visibly. You know what I'm saying? So you need something like Webb, and that's what it's designed to do. So being able to detect these planets as they move across the face of their star. They can take that star's light and pick up the planet's atmosphere and analyze it with a spectrograph. So that's how they do it. So it's really cool. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get further into the capabilities of Webb, but we want to just stay right here for this first show. So that's one of the main things that Webb was designed for, to further the study of these objects. There's several objects, but to further the study from Hubble, to keep it going and to dig deeper. You know what I'm saying? So this here is a really big deal right now in trying to understand life outside of Earth.
Yeah. So I'm gonna also share my screen again because I'm the designated reader. No. But I think it's important to understand some definitions. So if you allow me, I want to show you a few things. And we have a few key terms that we're just gonna go over real quick. It's like a little mini science class, but it's fun, right? We're gonna have fun. No.
Oh yeah. We're gonna try to keep it interesting anyway.
I always keep it interesting, and I like to show lots of pictures, so I'll do that. So, and of course, we're using our favorite source, Wiki. Hey, yeah, Wiki. So, bam, I love pictures. This is K218B. This is actually an artist rendition. What did happen? Artist rendition of K2. What did I do? This was not, oh, there we go. Because that one's part of the rehearsal. This is an artist rendition of K2. And I had a few more. And the dwarf moon. I think that's pretty awesome. So part of that also, I'm going to read you a few definitions on this. And the first one is red dwarf. See if people can understand exactly what this is. So a red dwarf, which K218b, that's its sun, its star. The red dwarf is the smallest and coldest kind of star on the main sequence. Red dwarfs are by far the most common type of star in the Milky Way, at least in the neighborhood of the sun. However, as a result of their low luminosity, individual red dwarfs cannot be easily observed from Earth. Not one star that fits the stricter definitions of a red dwarf is visible to the naked eye. And it talked about one particular, the Proxima Centauri, which this is actually a picture of the Proxima Centauri. This is not the red dwarf that K218b is around. K218b's red dwarf is called the K218. The planet has the B after it to denote the planet. And then there's also another gaseous celestial body called K218c that sits in orbit of this red dwarf. But this is just an example of a red dwarf. And I believe this image actually comes from the Hubble spacecraft. And this is what it looks like when they do the imaging there. But this one is of the Proxima Centauri. I'm gonna show a couple of other photos that I thought that was awesome. Also, it may not be this one, it may be on the other one. This is another star that's considered the smallest star in our galaxy by the Hubble. And another rendition, it might not be here. So that's what a red dwarf is. per se. Now I wanted to get into also explaining to you what an exoplanet is.
Okay, before you go, Miss,
Go ahead.
Juju, let me step in here real quick. Okay, when you speak of the red dwarfs,
Yeah.
okay, that stars are classified. You know, there's a scale. It's
Oh,
called
go off.
the Hertz. It's called the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. You know, I've spoken about this before in our lecture I did on stars. But yeah, the red dwarfs are they're the smallest and the coolest of all the main sequence stars, like Miss Juju just mentioned. And if you go to the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram, it'll show you how the stars are graphed based off their color and their temperature. You know, so that's something we'll get into a little bit deeper as we go on with this series. But yeah, that's something y'all can write down, look into that Hertzsprung-Russell diagram, because when we get to talking about stars, that's going to be, you know, one of the main tools that I go to when it comes down to, you know, describing and categorizing most stars. You can go ahead, Miss Juju.
Okay. So I pretty much just wanted to go over a couple of definitions so people understand, and then you can expound on them. So we just talked about red dwarfs. That is the star, quote unquote, the sun, that the exoplanet that we're talking about is basically orbiting. I went a little too far. Give me just a minute. So also another thing, light years, and it was really interesting. So I was reading on light years, and I don't think that people fully encompass, you know, like what light years are. A lot of times, how did they say that people confuse it with, like, you know, a measurement of time? But light years, because of the year, it's not a measurement of time. It's actually distance. We, as the layman's, use light years. But something that was really that stood out in Dr. Moya McTeer's book, the what is it? The Story of Our Galaxy, the Milky Way. She talks about this phenomena of, we say light years, but experts use parsecs. Okay, which is an actual more accurate measurement that they use to measure distances between celestial bodies in our solar system, particularly or whatnot. But what's really interesting is, what exactly is a light year? Like, to kind of put it in layman's term. Well, a light year is 5.879 trillion miles. I didn't even get into calculating how long it would take you to travel a light year, but it's a substantial amount of time. Let's just say that. Okay?
That's going to take a while. It's going to take a while.
A long while. So, you know, the Earth, the sun itself is like 98 point something million miles, which is within one light year, but that's still a distance. But 5.879 trillion miles, that's a lot. But astronomers would say parsecs instead. I'm always hitting links. So I thought that was another interesting thing. And
I think a parsec, if I'm not mistaken, is like a little over 3 light years for one parsec.
It's a little over 3 light years. Let me see if I can go back to it for you. So, 30. So it just said it. It said 38 parsecs. There you go. Symbol PC, about 3.26 light years is 1 parsec. So
it's just an easier way of, you know, communicating the distance. Instead of saying, you know, almost 6 trillion miles, you say a light year. But then when you get into, well, this here is like other galaxies may be 1,000 light years away. Well, it's easier, numbers wise, to just break it down into parsecs. So 1 parsec equals a little over 3.26 light years. So you
Exactly.
get 2 parsecs.
Condenses.
A little over 6, light years. So it just kind of condenses the number. Yeah, that's a good word. It just condenses the number down.
Yeah, parsecs is a good word, definitely. I think it makes the computations a little bit less as far as like numbers and digits, because you already got so many. So the parsecs helps condense it. So exoplanet is an interesting thing, and I really want to read the definition and also explain what a superplanet is, because K218b is considered a superplanet, and people might take that and jump out the window with it, but it doesn't mean much of anything. But I'll get to that.
Yeah.
So an exoplanet or extrasolar planet is a planet outside our solar system. Simple. Basically, it's outside our solar system. The first possible evidence of an exoplanet was noted in 1917, but it wasn't recognized as such. We've spoken that on another show. I think when we talked about actually, what did we just talk about? Retrograde. Okay,
Yeah.
retrograde motion of the moon and different things like that, and how the said scientists back then didn't quite recognize maybe planets from stars or stars from planets at time, until we were able to come up with different instruments and tools to really help us distinguish between them. Because as you know, at certain times of the year, and I know it's coming up soon, that we're going to be able to actually see Jupiter, and it's going to shine bright like a star in the sky. So imagine this being like 2,000 years ago without much equipment, what I'm saying, or the knowledge, understanding we have now. Like, we wouldn't know if that was a star or a planet really, unless we were really like following it. You know what I'm saying? That would take some time to really understand its movements. You know what I'm saying? To know that if it was a planet.
Well, the tools helped us a lot
exoplanet.
No, I was just saying that the tools and time over time, developing the tools, and it gave us a better understanding. So, we have to keep the science moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think this hot. So I'm on Wiki, but if you hit the pictures and you enlarge them, it gives you so many different pictures from NASA of different exoplanets and stars. And I pretty much did this like all day today. And so, yeah, like, check out the links, hit those highlighted things so you can actually like see what's going on and you can get a greater understanding. These still aren't the images that I was looking for, but I will find them as I continue to go on. But some awesome stuff, and I think it'll be coming up next. But so, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, exoplanet is just outside of our solar system. And I think that's pretty cool that we at the point where, we actually have the equipment to do that. Next it'll be like, really, what, outside our galaxy to another galaxy. Imagine that, maybe not in our lifetime, but in our children's lifetime and our children's lifetime. Like, so the future has a lot to hold. And I don't know, like, this stuff like makes me super excited. Another term I want to go over is it wasn't super Earth. I actually wanted to do a super planet. No, we'll do this. This is right,
yeah,
right?
It's what you're
thing, right?
referring to as super planet. That's super Earth. What they're speaking on is super Earth, and that's a planet that they find that's in between the size of Earth and Neptune, which our solar system does not contain. But that is the most abundant type of planet that's found throughout our, limited study. They find more of these, what they call them.
In our galaxy, right?
In the Milky Way, yes. They call them Neptunian-sized exoplanets. But it's kind of like, or either you're going to hear super Earth. But in most of these star systems, and there are a lot of them that have planets, they're finding these weird oddities within these solar systems, like what we're speaking on now, this Neptunian, or almost, in between the size of Earth and Neptune. I think it was like 8.6 times the mass of Earth. So it's bigger than Earth, but it's smaller than Neptune. They found a lot of those. It's the most abundant of all the exoplanets that's been found. They're that type. Now, to find this one in the habitable zone, is what's really
awesome,
making the news. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in that area where the temperature is just right to have liquid water. It's not too cold to freeze, but it's not too hot. You know what I'm saying? Where the water would boil away. So it sits in the area like where we are, where Earth is, where you can have, the in between. So that, like I say, that's the most abundant of all the exoplanets that have been found. It's been more of the super Earths instead of Earths that are the size of, planets that are the size of our Earth. So it's pretty interesting. We don't have one in our solar system though. That it's Earth, and then you have Neptune, and it's a wide gap as far as size and mass goes.
So, and that brings us to habitable zone, and I'll read the definition from Wiki real quick for you because it's pretty awesome, and it doesn't, it means something fairly simple. So what I find out the more that I am, engaged in like scientific matters and literature, is things are actually more simple than we make them. And within that, like reality is, even better than fiction at times. So, I tell people, stop making it up. Just, learn the world around you. You'll be satisfied and happy. But the habitable zone, and they label this HZ, and I'll show you some examples, or more precisely, the circumstellar habitable zone, CHZ, is the range of water within which a planetary surface can support liquid water, given sufficient atmospheric pressure. The bonds of the habitable zone, HZ, are based on Earth's position in the solar system and the amount of radiant energy it receives from the sun. Due to the importance of liquid water to Earth's biosphere, the nature of the AZ and the objects within it may be instrumental in determining the scope of distribution of planets capable of supporting, listen clearly, ladies and gentlemen, supporting Earth-like extraterrestrial life and intelligence. So I think that's important because when we speak of habitable zones, this means a zone that, Earth-like extraterrestrial, us humans, may be able to survive in, not necessarily speaking on any other life form in the universe, because we don't know that. So the model is pretty much based on us, our Earth, where it's distance between the sun, and that's how they rate the habitable zone of other exoplanets also. So this is a diagram of optimistic habitable zone, as they call it. These are the suns and some other stars, and then these are some other planets. And they'll give an example of Venus is right here, right? But Earth is right here. And this, all up in here, is the habitable zone. Mars is even in there. But this right here, this is like the prime habitable zone.
Yeah, that's the prime. We're in the prime location for life.
We're in the prime location. So they're always looking for exoplanets that are in a zone similar to this around their sun or their star, and that have remnants of what we call life, which would be, what is that? Dimethyl sulfide, okay? DMS, carbon.
And what you just said, Ms. Juju, is important as well. I mean, what we know of here on Earth, that has to be the standard, because that's what we know.
That's what we know.
So That's the standard. But as far as, trying to find this standard in other places of the galaxy, we're gonna have to have tools like James Webb. That's the only way we can do it. It won't happen without those tools. So yeah, good point on that.
And this is another diagram of the habitable zone, and here's Earth. And this right here, this blue is the habitable zone. And these are diagrams, what scientists use to measure other exoplanets. And you'll get 7 different designs, and they'll talk about 7, different stars with exoplanets that orbit them. And, these are some of the exoplanets that they're really focusing on. Kepler 22 system. I believe that's a solar system.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, and I think that's utterly fascinating. And of course, Kepler, this is a really popular exoplanet I've heard of before. And I think that's absolutely fascinating. So yeah, that's what we have, habitable zone. And if you want to add something, I want to make sure I didn't.
I'm sorry, Ms. Juju. There's several of them out there. You got to
keep going.
But yeah, you there's several,
I'm not saying anything.
But what I'm saying is there's several different exoplanets that are being studied. It's just that this one, it's what makes it, more significant is the fact that they find that I can't pronounce that, but it's what is the DMS
and methyl sulfide.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. The methyl sulfide.
Yeah.
Which, like you said, it's something that's produced from life here on Earth. So, that's when we find things like that in other places or other planets, that gets everybody excited because, it could possibly be, that could be one of those questions that don't have answers can finally be answered. Are we the only life, or do you only find life here in this solar system on this planet throughout the whole universe? So, it's that's what makes it very important in the scientific world.
So the picture I'm showing now is actually the constellation Leo. This is where K218b is found, and that red dwarf star K218, okay, in the Leo constellation. And I'm just going through it. It'll go back to the beginning. But of course, constellations are mapping of the stars. And a lot of them come from ancient times, different cultures, and how they mapped out the stars. And scientists would just basically keep them, it's for entertainment, but some of it is for scientific use because these are actually, some of them have been known to be like actual stars, but they tend to make these patterns in the sky that we seem to be familiar with here on Earth. So, it makes it relevant. And, of course, we hear all kind of mythology, but this is a celestial mapping or, a star mapping. Now, this is something that I'm learning. Anthony probably knows it much better, but this is what astrophysics basically use to map out stars, and particularly the most important ones or whatnot. I think it's pretty interesting, awesome.
This is, the constellations are more. If you look at the night, if you look at the sky and get like a road map or an atlas, a map of the country, you can kind of apply those principles to the night sky. Like the constellations, you can look at them like the state, and then you have a lot of stars within that constellation. You can look at them like the cities within the state. And then, once you find planets or whatever, now you got the neighborhoods within the city, within the state, all within that. That's the way I look at the Sky Atlas, because it's basically just a map, and it's used to locate objects. Like we speaking of Leo, where in Leo, there's 3 galaxies right there together. They call Leo's triplets, and they're near certain stars. Now, the galaxies themselves are not near those stars, but in the night sky, you know what I'm saying? You see certain stars, so you figure out which one of those stars it is, and you can get close to that object. So like I said, the constellation itself could be like the state on the map. The the stars would be like the cities in the map. The solar systems would be like the neighborhoods in the map. So all these objects, like I said, Leo's triplets would be one of those like neighborhoods or subdivisions within that state, close to that city. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. But that usually helps me when I'm looking for, whatever targets I wanna shoot. You got to find out which constellation they're in first. So it's just like when you planning a trip. You're going to Texas. Well, which part of Texas? You going to Dallas? Or you going to Houston? Or you going to San Antonio? Or you might be going to what could be considered a red dwarf, is a little small country town. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's usually, that helps me out when it comes down to the constellations.
That's pretty awesome. So that was pretty much all the definitions I have for tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, we've learned about exoplanets. We've learned about super Earths or super planets. Okay. We also learned about red dwarfs, light years, and the experts' usage of parsecs. See, that was easy and beautiful, but this is some of the awesome things that are being discovered. And those things that have already been discovered are given new light and clarity with the James Webb Space Telescope, the JWST, which is a phenomenal piece of work and ingenuity, and the coming together of scientific communities all around the world to pull off this endeavor. And if you've been keeping up, the photos that have been coming back are phenomenal. The information that we're getting is literally, no pun intended, out of this world. Like, just amazing. Like those initial photos of all those, thousands, millions of galaxies was absolutely beautiful, like astounding. The fact that we're basically looking back in time and we have the technology to do that as human beings in this day and age still blows my mind like nothing in this entire universe. Like, it's like supernatural. Now let me stop. But I just think it's an amazing feat of human scientific ingenuity and resilience, and a work of art and beauty at the same time. So, it's an exciting time right now, I must say. An exciting time to be a human being.
Oh yeah, we're in the golden age of science right about now, especially in the astronomy world. I mean, the James Webb it's not a visual telescope. Hubble is what you would call a visual telescope. It uses a regular, mirror, but Webb is totally different. It sees in the infrared, which it's able to look further back into time. You know what I'm saying? So we're at a point where it's never been this good, and it's only going to get better.
It's only going to get better.
There's other instruments there that are in the works, but man, this Webb, dude. You see, December will be 2 years that it's been operational. Well, no, not operational, but since it launched.
December 25th, 2021 is when the James Webb launched. And I think our first photos, I just looked at the date, but I believe it was in
June
July.
or something.
June?
July. Okay.
I gotta look it up real quick.
Yeah, it was about 5
I looked at it earlier and I meant to
after
write it down, but I definitely get it because I don't want to go too much into what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I ain't that computer savvy. Like, that's weird. I'm a pseudo killer. I gotta work. But let me tell you, y'all gotta give me ears and stuff like that. I was good when I was younger, but it wasn't my cup of tea. But let me tell you, being part of like pseudo killers and having to put in work so we can facilitate, different types of programs for you all and bring you content. I've definitely been put to work and I'm getting my bag. Like, well, I'm gonna be a computer tech in the next year. Y'all just watch out, right? So I'm figuring this thing out. Yay, pat on my
we
back.
got a question here from Rashawn E. What's that? L?
Oh, Rasan L.
Rasan
hey,
L.
Rasan.
How long would it take to currently travel to an inhabitable planet in another solar system?
A habitable planet, you mean? You don't want to travel into no inhabitable planet. You want a habitable planet. Take that IN off. But
if I'm not
some light years.
The closest star to us would be, I think it's Proxima Centauri.
It's like four.
Yeah, and it's like 4 light years. So
4 light years away. So 4 times 5.879 trillion. That's how long. You do the math.
And, light moves at 186,000 miles per second. So not in this lifetime.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Your grandkids, your great-great-grandkids, your great-great-great-great-grandkids. What?
If you can possibly happen to be able to move at 186,000 miles per second, you'll get there in 4 years.
You might make it.
It'll take you 4 years at that speed.
On here.
Huh?
We need that Star Trek warp speed type of thing. Got to go on here.
Well,
we still waiting on them quantum computers. We're going to get into that. That's
this right here gets you there instantly. This will.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk to them.
Now, let me.
The
pseudo might
I know
take
Bobby
that and
Baker's going to laugh at this. Them little men in the microscope already done, huh?
Yeah. That dude down in there with them pictures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But with one of these, you can get there pretty quick, Russell.
Yeah.
You can get there pretty quick with one of these, but to, on the serious side, to physically, it's like I said, you'd have to, if you were able to move at 186,000 miles every second, it'll still take you 4 years to get there. So it's not in our lifetime, but possibly 100, 200 years in the future, maybe this show right here can inspire a younger generation to keep it going with the generation after them and keep that going. They might get there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They might get there. But yeah, that's a good question, man. That's a good question.
Well, I got a few things I want to, remind you all. So this is our first show, and we really, really appreciate you all coming to support us, join us. Okay. I want to make sure that you like and subscribe to Pseudo Killers. We're going to be having more shows, more content, along with, the world famous God Killer Bobby Banger. But we also want to bring you all types of different content, everything, all things science. Okay. So we'll be doing this. And in the comments section of this show, please, we would love your feedback. We also would love any suggestions you have for a future show. Okay, like I said, this is season 1, episode 1, and we just gave you a little rundown on one of the latest and newest information that the James Webb Space Telescope has given us. But there's so much more, so many things we want to cover. Like, we really want to take our time and maybe, take some of these concepts that we just exposed to you tonight and really go in depth to them so we all can have like found fundamental understanding like no other about them. You know what I'm saying? So we all together can learn and grow and become way more scientifically literate. But not only that, we have these tools that we also can pass down to the younger generation, our children, your godchildren, your nieces, your cousins, your friends, whatever, because see, that's what's most important. So again, one of the things that I want everybody to do sometime tonight or whenever you have some free time is go to nasa.gov. And I want you to check out this website. And I just want you to play with it. There's so much going on. And we'll probably do a whole show. And I will just literally go through the whole website with you, show you some things. There's one more website. And if I have it here, yes, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show it to you. And this is because I'm a children's advocate, right? I love the babies. Strictly for the kids. And I'm going to show you this real quick because, I didn't even know either. I found this out. And I was like, dang, that's hot. Okay. And I'm going to be playing with it. But this right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, and when you get through with that, Miss Juju, it's one more question in there from Ronald Perkins.
No. We got time for questions.
Okay.
So if you can share, if you see my screen once my computer starts loading, I think I need an Apple, y'all. So y'all go ahead and hit that Cash App too. Me and Anthony, we working hard putting these shows together. So you see the Cash App under our names. If you feel like you enjoyed what you saw here, you appreciate our work, you want more of it, blank, definitely hit that Cash App.
And make sure you hit the like button too.
Yes, please like and subscribe. And I didn't finish what I was saying. So in the comment section of this show, I want you to please leave, any feedback, ideas for future shows, any questions or comments. We definitely love questions, and we will definitely do our due diligence into answering questions. If you need help on doing any type of research as far as like programs or activities going on in your community, just give me the name of your city and state, and I would definitely do my work and finding out some things that you can be actively involved in as far as you and your family. Okay, I'll do that for you. I will do that. Okay. I just want to say this right here is pretty awesome. This is also by NASA. It's called spaceplace.nasa.gov, and this website is strictly for children. And I'm telling you, like, this website was super dope, yo. I like played with this thing all day today, and it has lots of pictures for people like me. Yeah, I like pictures. But more importantly, and I'm not going to say it's just for children, I'm going to say it's for anybody who wants to start off, because it puts everything in like plain, simple English, answering, the very fundamental questions. And I just thought it was pretty awesome. So please go check out spaceplace.nasa.gov. Make sure that you're loading this onto your children's devices. Load it onto your device. But I thought it was pretty hot. So that's my first gift to you all, as far as making sure that I share links and whatnot with you all to help you, navigate and know the world around you and become more scientifically literate. Yes, so spaceplace.nasa.gov. Make sure that you save that, put that away. And another thing that I always mention, because look, we're getting into the fall season, and if you don't know, I've been a stargazer since I was a kid. Like, loved it. I used to could tell you all the constellations in the sky. I was a Girl Scout. We used to go camping, so that was the best time. But my birthday is in December 13th, and what I do know about that time of year is that we have a lot of like different, how shall I say, celestial bodies doing their thing in the sky. We got different comets, meteor showers, just all kind of stuff happening and going on. So just make sure that you pick up like one of those free apps. I think they got Star Walk. That's the one I know for sure. But there's Star something.
Stellarium
Do
is
the
a
show
good one.
again.
Yeah, Stellarium is the one
Go
I
ahead.
use a lot. The one I
Okay.
use a lot is
Stellarium.
Stellarium. Yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
good, and all you have to do is just point your phone in the
Calibrate.
in the sky.
Got to calibrate your phone.
Yep, and then you see something, and you just point your phone at it, and it'll tell you exactly what it is.
It'll map it out for you. It'll map out the constellation. It'll tell you everything you need to know about that section of the sky, literally. He says Solarium. I use Starwalk, I believe it was. Both for free, but you can pay to upgrade the app, and it'll do a little bit more for you. But those apps are pretty awesome, and they're fun with the children, I'm telling you. So again, it's about getting them actively engaged, getting us all actively engaged, being aware of our environment, being better aware of the earth and, this galaxy we live in. So, yeah. And I hear my phone in them cash apps, and I just want to say thank you so much. I so appreciate it. Oh, my God.
That's what's up. But I
Thank you.
I want to answer Ronald.
Go ahead.
Okay, his question was, what's the next step for NASA concerning this finding? Will they train radio telescopes on the planet for signs of intelligent life? Well, Webb didn't discover this. They've known about this since Kepler. They discovered it with Kepler back in the 80s, I want to say.
And then the Hubble, right?
And then they used Hubble to check it out. And then they came back with Webb. So they looked it up. They studied this planet, this system, with 3 different telescopes over 30 some years, But as far as the next step, well, they're gonna continue to observe it, because we can only see it as it passes in front of its host star. But it's just right now, from my understanding, it's just about getting as much information as we can, and I'm sure there's other areas of science where they're working on, different systems to be able to move across space, and save a lot of time. But as of right now, it's more or less just about, getting as much information as we can about the system. Now, I hadn't heard anything as far as future plans, but I do know that they're going to continue to study it. And let's see, we got any more questions? But yeah, there's several places around the country where you can actually get into astronomy or, any kind of science, but it don't cost much. You can go to anywhere. I know most cities have, a planetarium, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can go to pretty much just check out, what's in your city. And a lot of them, they don't charge for this kind of stuff. We talked about the eclipse that just happened a couple weeks ago. There were places all over the country that was, you could go and witness this for free. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is just go and look up. And that's it. So yeah, but we don't want to take too much of y'all's time in. We're gonna ready to wind this down. But I do appreciate the questions, the feedback. We looking for all feedback. Like I said, it's the first show. I'm always willing to learn, and I know I can be better. So please help me, help me be better for you guys. But I'm also gonna be, going live with this. So y'all can see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. But I can't give you a schedule because it's all on the weather. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be one of them things you might get a notification 10 to 20 minutes before I do it. Because like I said, it just depends on the clouds. You know, when it's cloudy, I can't do anything. So I don't want to tell y'all be here this day at this time, but we're going to do that as well. You know what I'm saying? And we can look at some of the things that Webb is looking at. Now, this particular thing, no, I can't pick that up. But, you know, we can get galaxies and stuff like that. So that's what's going to be happening. And we're going to do that on the very next clear night I get. It's raining right now here where I'm at in Dallas. But we're going to do that as soon as I get a clear night. So y'all be looking out for that. And you got anything else, Miss Juju?
Well, no, I just want to say thank you again for the support. Again, this is Beyond the Cosmos with Anthony and Juju, season 1, episode 1. And we just gave you a little dish on the James Webb Space Telescope, excuse me. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to like, share the show. Please subscribe to Pseudo Killers, Community of Skeptics. You know, please go and check out nasa.gov. What was the other one? Space. Shoot, I forgot it already. What is it? Oh, Space Place at nasa.gov. Check those out. Get that Star Walk app. And, you know, next time we get together, we can do a little stargazing. Anthony's going to teach y'all something about them telescopes. You feel me? And we've also put in the description, if you want to check, like some of the equipment that Anthony uses. So you can like Google that equipment and you can see what it is for yourself. If you're really interested in getting you a telescope or really getting actively engaged at your own house with your family and your friends, as far as, you know, mapping out the stars. One thing I want to add about it, like, you know, we're not exclusive to just our community, but this is something that we're doing for our community because we understand some of the limitations we have, you know, some of, you know, the lack of representation, but we've come a long way, right? We have a different set of circumstances, and I think we have done a phenomenal, amazing job as a people, period. And I just want to give a shout out to certain people like Dr. Oya Mayat. Like, she's at Morgan State teaching future engineers. And that's just something that I think is always beautiful and amazing and that I always love to support. So this is why we want to bring these type of shows to you so we can start supporting her and her endeavors and her teachings. We can start supporting institutions like the National Society of Black Engineers. And I can bring you all more different organizations and, you know, particularly Black organizations. I'm not going to front. HBCUs, and just not HBCUs, but other colleges that have certain programs are engaging when it comes to all things science and in that matter. And I also will be posting some information for you. Like I said, whatever city that you're in, if you want help on information, I'll do the research for you. Just leave it in the comments section of the city and state, and I'll get on my JOB and I'll get that information for you, you know, about any kind of space camps, summer camps, whatever it is that we can get ourselves involved in. But, you know, we're at that hour now. We don't want to make the show too long. If you have questions for the next show, just leave them in the comment section. Also, please leave that comment section. Please hit that like button and please subscribe and please, please, please support the Pseudo Killers because we're advocating for you and scientific literacy in our community. And with that, I'm out.
Peace, y'all.
Peace. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you, Gemini the Goddess. Rasan L, Ronald Perkins, who else came in here? Sunny South Dallas, American Dream.
Gotta give a shout out, American Dream.
CK the Poet. What's happening, sis?
CK, that's my sis. I miss you.
Oh, in Sunny South Dallas is one up in. I like to go to the University of North Texas up in Denton. They got a real good one up there. You can look it up online. It's not actually at the school. It's kind of a little bit north of the school. They got telescopes in there and everything, man. So that's one I like to go to.
Did you shout out Mongo Slade?
Yeah, I got
Miss you, Mongo
Mongo Slade.
Slade.
One more time.
Always
Peace to
asking
you,
how I'm
Mongo.
doing. I'm doing great. I'm healthy. Yeah, it's been a year. We in the like swimwear. But yeah, thank you all. Good night.
Appreciate you, everybody. Peace.
Gotta play the out song. Don't just hit it. Gotta play the song now. You gotta play that song. You gotta play that song. You better play that song. Play that DQ song. You play that Lady Kisses song, play any song. We gonna figure the stream, y'all. We new to this. This is like our first time, so
yeah.
We gonna get it right.
Okay, here we go. That's it.
Yeah, we gotta rock out. I want to dance like Bobby be dancing. I gotta show him.
I think I got the wrong one, Juju. I got the wrong one.
Oh no.
Okay, here we go. Here we go, y'all. Here we go.
Here we go.
There we go.
We
there
out.
we go.
Yeah, you are.
Oh boy, that was funny. You better play that song.
Hey, that will never be jamming. I like that.
Check. Tapping in, what's the subject? Evolution or revolution, we ain't done yet. Laying flat like Sanchez, this a bomb threat. I know my flow like Gangozi. So what's up and show me, homie, you shut up and
Anthony, you playing the song?
The mad scientist, I'm knowing
yep, it's playing. Can you hear it?
And we gon' off it if it's pseudo. You do know we don't entertain that keyboard judo. That big Bobby banger out of Baltimore. Done it all, shop before. Sold a little something, but I taught you more than your average teacher. I had to reach you at your level to bring you up. No devil can never beat you. With precision of a magi, the information supplied by some guys get debunked online. CK and Juju, I chill in the cut. But if you boys wanna fade, then I'm chefing you up. I organize live, the beats are disorganized, truth every time. Kudos, who those niggas? Decorated pseudo killers. Space age Africans, back again. An organized lie, the beats are disorganized, truth every time. Kudos, who those niggas? Decorated pseudo killers. Space age Africans, tapping in. I always been fly, that's an actual omen. You can catch me in the sky, ask Anthony Bowman. He see me with his telescope, I was actually floating.
Anthony Bowman.
The Savio is actually growing. See, Gullah and Kent is where the money gets spent. Them boys got some books that cost as much as you rent. The second verse should be smash Rockwell, but I rock well. Underground like Sumerian Rockwells. In the ring like I'm the rock whale. Hell, create a different wave that can rock whales. Hell, shit swell like lunar tides. My entendres off Gandra to who describe. Euthanize foolish guys. Scholastically, haphazardly. Turn your camera on and look me in my eyes. And please do subscribe.
Hit that like button. Don't be afraid to hit that cash out. Like and subscribe. Comment. Leave a comment after the show in the comment section. Thank you. See you next week. Season 1, episode 2. Peace. Peace.